Good afternoon, Frederick. Welcome back to the Blaine Young Show on 930 WFMD. In the second hour, we're going to talk to Advanced Helicopter Youth Foundation. My brother Brad is still in the studio, but the Advanced Helicopter Youth Foundation, supporting the Advent Home Learning Center, is a 5-day massed helicopter flight through 6 states, raising funds and awareness for America's at-risk youth. And it's going to go from Frederick to Calhoun, Tennessee, from September 23rd to 27th. We'll talk to Neil and the group that's with him very shortly, but I still have my brother here, Brad Young, as the phone lines are lit up. Usually Brad calls in to do the stock market report Monday and Friday here. He has Maryland Financial Planners. Spare time, he coaches the Walkersville girls softball team. He has been fired and banned for 3 years due to a end-of-year party he had for the team and its parents when one parent brought a cooler of alcohol and allowed a couple other parents to partake. You didn't have any alcohol. You didn't provide any, right?
No.
You didn't partake?
No.
And none of the children or kids there drank or smoked?
Absolutely not.
All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Tim May. Tim, how you doing?
Well, I'm doing great. I'm really upset for Brad because I know, unlike you, he has a reputation to protect.
Oh, thanks, Tim.
But I wanted to end this. Brad, have you spoke to Linda Berge yet?
I have communicated with her by email. Again, when the decision was handed down, I decided to appeal it. I knew in a town like Walkersville it would not take long to get out, and I asked that it be handled quickly because I knew this was going to happen. And again, I do have a hearing set for July 29th, and I'll say Dr. Berge has emailed me back and forth as far as setting those things up, but I have not talked to her. I've only talked to her by email.
Tim, the long and short of it, when he was called in by the principal, he went in and said yes to everything. A month later, he's called in, they put a letter on the table, said read this, said he's banned for 3 years. And now when do you have your appointment with Linda Berge?
July 29th.
July 29th. So in about 2 weeks, he'll sit down with the superintendent.
All right, here's what should happen right away. Is Linda has the power to overrule this completely because of this idiocy. Because I know, and Brad knows, that on every Wednesday afternoon, when we host high school students in a place that sells alcohol and people smoke vile cigarettes and pipes out front, that not only does she and Mike Shodden attend, but principals and students are there every Wednesday.
Oh.
So I guess under the law that they're saying, Brad, that would be illegal, and we'd have to suspend them also.
And I'm assuming you're talking about Dutch's daughter.
I'm assuming. Now, your assumption is correct.
Thank you. Okay.
Yes.
This is the ludency, and
And that was my point exactly, Tim. He could have had this function at a restaurant with an alcohol license.
Right.
Well, I want to give one other example. The Frederick Keys invited all the teams that made it to the state championship out to the Keys game. We went down the very night after my party, and my entire varsity team went with me. We sat there. They recognized us. There was people drinking beer all around. It's the Keys game. Again, am I responsible to make them leave at that point? Is that a violation? I don't know.
I don't know, because when Jack Dale hosted all of us students out there, Jack Dale walked around drinking a beer the entire time. So, this is how the system's out of whack. But the good news is Linda is a lady that has great common sense and great empathy for the county and for all you've done, Brad. And she needs to step in not on July 29th, but today and say it ends right now. Stop making the county look like a bunch of idiots.
Before he goes on Fox and Friends, when they're going to pick him up in a limo or whatever and take him to Baltimore or D.C. because this has made national news. Why, Tim? Because they're laughing at us because they're saying there's no common sense with this decision.
There's none whatsoever. And what I have so much faith in Linda, and I do, Mike, also, just step in now and end this nonsense. And, Brad, your suspension should be that don't drink alcohol if you drive by the school or something like that. But
no, his suspension should be 20% of the games. They should clarify the rule, number one.
Well, I checked online, as Brad has, there's no rule that he violated, so they have to show me the rule. And you can't be in violation of something that doesn't exist. So take care. God bless.
I appreciate it, Tim, and I do want to say everything I know is Dr. Berge is an honorable person, and I respect her, and hopefully she will do what's right.
All right. Well, you got no chance of me talking to her because she would never agree to come on the program. The only school board member I could get to come on with Donna Crook when she listened. 301-696. 301-696-6910 is the number that I have for the Frederick County Board of Education. Dr. Linda Berge, Superintendent of Schools. Do you have the email off the top of your head?
It's Linda Berge. I think it's linda.berge, B-U-R-G-E-E, at fcps.org.
All right, well, hopefully we get that right. We didn't screw that up. Let's go to Gray Fox. Gray Fox, welcome to the program. Then we're going to Woodchuck.
Hey, Blaine, thank you. Brad, I just have a couple questions here. You said you didn't know anything about this policy before this happened.
In my 5 years of coaching, I've never been giving any personnel policy of the county.
When they disciplined you, did they give you a written policy to read?
They did not. In the letter, they gave me excerpts from that policy that I was being terminated for.
Okay, so you've never seen actually in hand a written...
Never had a complete policy, and to my knowledge, not to my knowledge, I know they amended it on June 10th of this year, which was the day before that party. I don't know what the policy said before that because it's no longer available out there, so I don't know how it changed or what changed, but to this date, I've never been notified that it's been changed or even given one.
So other faculty didn't know about this policy either?
Whether it wasn't other faculty there, the coaches that we have are all non-employee type people.
Okay, and in the policy, was there steps of discipline outlined?
Again, not in the excerpts that they gave me, and I don't know if there are somewhere else. But in the excerpts they gave me, it just simply quoted the section that I
He was never given a policy. He doesn't have the policy. He wasn't given the policy. The only thing he knows of the policy was when he was brought forward to communicate with what he did, and when he was suspended for 3 years.
Yeah, this is just a mutant bureaucracy, and you can't expect compliance if the people don't know the law.
Yep. All right.
And again, I think that's a good lesson. All our coaches need to be better trained so they don't violate as well.
Thank you, Gray Fox.
Thank you, sir.
Let's go to Woodchuck. Woodchuck, before you get going, I want to tell you the email is Linda, Linda, .Berge, B-U-R-G-E-E, at fcps.org if you want to send an email in support of Brad or not in support. 301-696-6910 is the phone number, 301-696-6910. Woodchuck, go ahead.
Hi, Blaine.
How you doing?
Hey, your big brother there, Brad, I'm telling you, this was horrific. And what I'm going to say, because I know you don't want to stir anything, but this is my opinion, and it has nothing to do with you. But over the last 6 months, your little brother has not stepped on toes with the elected school board and the school board administration. He's punched him in the mouth. And I'm not kidding about this. I actually believe that somebody gunned for you to get the blame through you. And I would hope that you would, when you leave this show, call Alan Winnick and go sit down and talk with him and go after these people and get to the truth. Because as Blaine said at the beginning of the show, your reputation means everything to you.
It means everything.
And I would not play with this because I don't smell a rat. I mean, this is just absolutely terrible.
Woodchuck, let me tell you that I stated what you said earlier. Actually, when I knew about this was going on, I asked him if he wanted my help. He had it. I spoke to my mother about it. We've always been raised by my mother to stand on our own 2 feet. I didn't stick my nose in it because I didn't want to help him or hurt him in what he was doing. But when the decision came down and it was exactly what I thought it would be, I said the same thing. I wonder if someone's upset me for exposing a lot of the travesties they have down there. But
again, I'll put it this way. I think the reporting of the incident was nothing to do with a conspiracy or anything, but the punishment, who knows, that part of it. I think the reporting by somebody was for other reasons, whether the punishment was more harsh.
Disgruntled parent. I know what it was. All right, Woodchuck.
Hey, one more, sir.
Hurry up, Woodchuck.
All right, I'll catch you.
No, go ahead.
Brad, well, for what it's worth, Brad, I've been around you socially. I've been around watching you coach and deal with these young ladies, and I'll give you character reference of just as much as I possibly could because I've witnessed it on firsthand. And you're fabulous at what you do with these young girls, and this is just absolute travesty.
I appreciate it, and I try hard.
See you, Woodchuck.